What's up, guys? FrenchFit coming back at you with another video, and today we are in the kitchen gonna be cooking some food, show you how I choose the foods that I eat and how I prepare them. So let's get right into it. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so the food we're going to be making today is chicken breast, brown rice, and Brussels sprouts. Now, how did I choose these foods? I like to keep it pretty simple. I choose one protein source, which in this case is the chicken. Could also be beef, pork, some sort of meat, whatever you want really that has protein. A carb source, which in this case is brown rice. I also use white rice, pasta, potatoes, sweet potatoes, some sort of carb, and then some sort of vegetable, a green vegetable usually, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, green beans. So with each choices you got some nice complex carbs, fiber, protein. I don't really worry about fats as much because they're pretty easy to add to meals. So let's get to cooking. Now the methods I'm going to be using to cook all this food are grill, a rice cooker, and the oven. Now I am at home, so I have the luxury of having a lot more time, but if I were to recommend one piece of cooking equipment, if you're in a pinch or you're in a dorm, I would choose the pressure cooker, just because it's the most versatile out of all of them. But since I got time and resources, I'm going to utilize all three of these, so let's get into it. Alright guys, before we do anything else, the first step is to wash your hands. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is turn our oven to about 400 degrees or so. This is going to be for the Brussels sprouts, so we'll get that heating up. Alright, so we're going to get the rice started first because it's going to take the longest. So I'm going to make 2 cups dry, which I'm going to weigh out on my scale. It's about 260 grams, or 360, my bad. Alright, and then we add the water. Now, pro tip. Normally you would add water to rice, correct? But it could get a little bland. Rice is pretty, it kind of takes on whatever flavor you mix it with. So instead of water, we are going to put in some chicken broth. Now you can use beef broth or beef stock, chicken stock, whatever you want. This is just going to add some flavor. I get the less sodium version because this does have a lot of sodium in it. So hopefully this will make it kind of a chicken flavored rice. So another thing that might be useful to add to your rice when you cook it is if you don't have any chicken stock or broth, just get some of this chicken bouillon cube stuff, just like a powder. Pretty much what that is, just like a salty chicken powder, chicken flavored powder. Also have beef here too, so throw that in there, help add some flavor to your rice. The rice is going, that's going to take the longest, so we started that first. Now I'm going to cook the chicken on this grill. This is actually a smokeless grill, so it has a fan in it so you can use it inside, which is nice. So we're going to plug this in, turn the fan on, the power, and get that heating up. I can press the button. So we'll let that heat up for a couple minutes while we season up our chicken. Alright, cut the chicken breast into strips just so it cooks faster. Another little pro tip there. And as for the seasonings, I'm going to be using garlic powder, black pepper, some Mrs. Dash extra spicy, and some of this Brazilian steakhouse, even though it's chicken. So when I pick seasonings, I like to pick at least 3 or 4. I pick 3 seasonings that are usually no salt at all, and then 1 like salt-based seasoning just to kind of limit sodium. You could go with no salt if you wanted, but salt I think really brings out the flavor when you cook. And don't be afraid to really douse it with seasoning. I'm going to probably cover the side, flip it, then cover it again. That's a major thing people mess up when they're cooking chickens. They don't season it enough, so let's season it up. Alright, so our grill is heated up to 390. With leaner cuts of meat, I like to go higher temperature, so we're just going to try to do this with one hand. Lay them on there like so. we can fit this last one on here. Alright, we'll just put the lid on and wait. Alright guys, so by now our oven should be preheated. Now it's time to get started on these Brussels sprouts. So what I like to do is put them in a Ziploc bag first. Alright, so you get as many Brussels sprouts as you want. Then the next step is to add some olive oil. This is going to help the seasoning stick as well as help bring out some more flavor. So drizzle probably a couple tablespoons of this in there, and then throw the seasonings in there and then just shake it around. Alright, so now after you put the seasoning and the olive oil on, just lay them out on the pan like so. Then we're going to pop them in the oven. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Alright. Boom. Then we'll set a timer for probably about 30 to 40 minutes. Now as far as cooking time, the chicken, I don't really have, there's no method to the madness for me. I just flip it, and if it has some nice grill marks, then usually that's when I usually flip them. And one more pro tip that I have for you guys is, this is gonna sound weird, but you think, whoa, there we go. Okay, so I think one of the reasons that people dry chicken out so much, chicken breast in particular, is they cook it all the way through. Now that sounds like that's what you should do, right? But what I do to make mine a little more less dry, tender, and juicy is I take it off the grill when it's about 90 to 95% done. So I might be able to see like a little tiny bit of pink right in the middle, which you don't want to eat it then, but when you take it off, put it on a plate or in like a container, it continues to cook because the heat is when you cook it on like a high heat, like 300 some degrees, the heat is going to be trapped in there and it's going to cook for probably, 5-10 minutes. It's going to finish cooking. So then it'll be perfectly done, but it won't be too dried out. And then if you want to microwave it the next day, then you're not drying it out even more. So a little pro tip. Take it off right before it gets completely done. It'll cook the rest of the way, help keep your chicken breast more juicy and tender. Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me over the sizzling, but this is an example of what I mean when it's in about another minute, I'll take this off. You see there's a little bit of it that's barely pink in the middle. That's usually when I take them off because they're going to finish cooking when I put them in this dish, especially when they're laying all on top of each other. The heat's just going to, it's going to get really hot between them, so it's going to finish up that cooking process. Just another pro tip, do want to make sure you cook them most of the way through though, because you don't want to be eating raw chicken, but just a little tip that I found helps it not dry out as much. Alright, so now that the Brussels sprouts have been in there for about 20 minutes, we're going to take them out. Don't forget, whoa, woo, steamy. Don't forget your oven mitt is what I was trying to say. It's very hot. And then I'm just going to flip them with this spatula. I'm not going to try to do it on camera because it's just not going to end well. Alright guys, so those Brussels sprouts took about 38 minutes. I could have probably benefited from cutting them in half, probably would have cooked a little faster, but the best way to find out if they're done to me is just taste them, honestly, the taste test. If they taste like they're done, you want yours a little bit more crunchy, take them out then. If you want them more soft on the inside, then that's up to you. So Brussels sprouts are done, all the chicken is done. Even though we started the rice first, it's still in last place. Okay, 10 more minutes and the rice will be done. And we'll see the final product. Right, Casey? Right. Alright, so the rice is finally done. Now, the true test. Did the chicken broth help at all? So, take a little bite. Probably going to be really hot. I can taste it a little bit. I think if you had the full sodium one, you could probably taste it a little bit more. I think I probably could have added a little more. It's a bit dry, but that's my fault. So, here we go. Alright guys, so we got our Brussels sprouts, our chicken, and our rice. It's all done. Now for the fun part, I get to clean all the dishes. Yay! So, just a quick video. Oh crap, I forgot to turn the oven off. Shoot, that would have been bad. Okay, so just a quick video on, you know, how I cook some of my food and how I choose what type of foods I want to eat. Just some suggestions. Hopefully you gained a little bit of information through this. Hopefully this brought some value to you. So be on the lookout for a couple more like recipe type videos. I also want to do like a grocery haul or like a tour of my fridge. What's in my pantry and why not. So stay tuned for more videos. Please give this video a like if you did enjoy it. Comment any other video suggestions down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends. Follow me on Instagram at French_fit40. I usually post something on my story when I have a new video. The latest video is always in my bio, the link to it. So hope you gained some knowledge from this video. Thanks for watching. French Fit out. Casey, would you like a piece of chicken? How is it? How is it, Casey? No response.